Welcome to the Double I Show.
Incoherent idiocy.
I'm Sweet T, and with me as always,
RW King. What's going on, T? How you doing tonight, buddy?
It's a great night tonight, man. I love that little kickoff too.
Oh, absolutely, man.
That's pretty killer
good
too.
Stuff. Good shit, Dr. X.
It
man.
is.
Hey, shout out to Dr. X.
He's been doing a lot better. Huh?
No, man, we hung him out on the last show, T.
You did, not me. Don't even start with that shit.
It isn't my job to give him a shout out, bro.
No, but you hung him out anyway, dude.
No. I'm saying about. See, there you go again. Now starting shit. Hey, Dr. X, don't even listen to his ass. What I'm saying is we didn't give you enough props early enough in the show last week, bro, and I apologize. I'm not talking about giving you shit. You deserve the shit. I'm just saying I just didn't do it early enough.
There you go again.
Yeah, there I go. Fuck both of you guys.
There you go.
All right,
yeah,
let's
fuck
go.
you.
Thank everybody, man. Thanks everybody for fucking listening to us, man, and listening to these monkeys. I appreciate that because these guys are tough to listen to sometimes.
Oh, fuck you.
Guys, remember, man, visit our website, doubleishow.com.
Don't forget our Patreon at patreon.com /the Double I Show.
Tell your friends about us, guys. Let them know what's going on. This thing's growing huge, T. We're out there again, man. This thing's just growing big, man.
It is. I love it. We keep looking at everything. We keep seeing the growth. We're seeing, those spikes and kind of just where we're hitting.
No, absolutely.
The graphs that we're seeing.
International flavors we're hitting, man.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
I can't wait to start visiting some of those places. That's what I'm excited
not just
about.
That, dude. Imagine if we get enough listeners out there, we can go do like a remote show or something.
Oh, that'd be killer.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Can we go to Amsterdam first?
We probably could.
What do you mean probably? Let's just
I don't know if it's in the budget yet.
What budget, man? We make our budget.
That's what I'm saying. It's a shoestring. So, I don't know. Can you hitchhike to Amsterdam?
Oh, man. Well,
I'm just saying, we got to kind of start.
Unless Dr. X can fit in a luggage, he ain't going.
That's a pretty big luggage. Don't they have a weight limit there?
No, yeah, it's 50 pounds, but I'm just saying you can pay for the overage, but he can't afford a ticket.
We do FedEx.
FedEx him, dog.
There you go.
Didn't somebody do that one time?
Yeah.
Try to send themselves FedEx or UPS or something?
They did, yeah.
And they got
I think
busted.
It was DHL or some shit like that.
Yeah.
They were in a crate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I figured, fuck, I could make it across international for like a few $100.
Yeah, somebody pulled it off, though.
Did he pull it off? I think they found him in customs on this side or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, what did he do for you his shit?
I don't know.
Or piss?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know. Anyways, man. So
that's another topic for another day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we're going to go ahead and get our shit started, man. What we got? And, today we're going to go ahead and pick up where we were last episode, T. Last episode, we talked about some issues with these celebrities and criminal actions that they have.
Right.
And we were touching more on the domestic violence side, right?
Right. And this topic, it's big, man. It goes a long way. And today we're hitting a different side of the same topic.
No, absolutely. And this is a little bit different because I think it stretches a little bit different. And where we're going to start this story is there's a lot of stuff out there right now about some sexual abuse and sexual assaults from a lot of these celebrities.
Right. And it's just sexual misconduct in general with not just celebrities, but we're talking sports people. I mean, anybody in the public eye.
No, absolutely.
That's really what it is.
And I think the bigger thing is that it's just getting so popular right now that it almost looks like it's a trend. There's a lot of stuff coming out. And even things that happened years and years ago, it just seems like it's all coming out right now.
And it is. It is coming out.
It seems like, right, it's like what we talk about. Once one thing happens or one person does it, it pops the cherry or it opens the floodgates, and here comes everybody.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, too, and we did mention this, and we were talking about this internally, sometimes it's just a money grab, right?
Yeah.
Where you look at some of these things.
Serious.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I want to talk about, T, and there's this show on HBO, and I know you don't got HBO, but it's called Leaving Neverland.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that one.
It
caused a stir.
Well, there's always these fucking stories about Michael Jackson, bro. And this is one of the biggest celebrities I can think about. I mean, this guy was worldwide known, just monster, famous, right?
Throughout my whole childhood, throughout yours.
Absolutely. And there was always those, talkings and things about it. And finally, those kids grew up and they came out and talked.
Right.
And it isn't good for Michael Jackson, and then you start looking at these tapes and the things and how they described it. And you thought, even back then, I thought it was a little bit weird that a grown man wanted to hang out with little boys.
Oh, yeah.
And he just played it off. He loved all children and he did all these things.
And there's all these excuses. Oh, no, he never had a childhood and things like that.
They touch on how many lawsuits he settled out of court, man. It's a tremendous amount of number.
It's got to be
there were
crazy
times
number.
where he like befriended these kids and moved their whole family, like a family from Australia. There was a kid from Australia, was a little dance guy, whatever. He was going to put him in his videos. So he moved the whole family over here from Australia. He went on tour with Michael. The family went on tour with Michael. It was great. Michael just treated him like a king.
Right.
They said Michael was there at all points. He was going to hang out in their hotel room. It's just like if he was one of them. He told them, you know what? I want you guys to move to California. I'm going to be shooting a music video, and I want your boy in it. And I want you guys there. So I want you guys to move out there and relocate. So he actually did him a solid. You know, he moved him out in the beginning. You know, he just put him up in an apartment, which they thought was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Because typically they were in 5-star hotels or wherever Michael was staying. That's where they stayed.
Right.
Then Michael wasn't there to pick him up. He would send a car the first couple days. Then he told him, why don't you guys just get a rent-a-car to go back and forth from the studios?
So he was kind of giving him the shine?
Because the kid said it was his pattern. And what he started saying is, this video I was supposed to be in was this video. And he pointed out the video. And in this video, Michael Jackson, it was the first introduction of Macaulay Culkin.
Oh.
And Macaulay Culkin, this kid's saying, was Michael's new flavor.
Right.
So he took over for this kid. And he said that was the cycle with Michael.
Yeah.
You know, once he found a new flavor, the other kid just sort of got pushed to the side.
Right.
And the kid sort of started saying it wasn't even so much of what was going on, but the fact of what it was doing to me emotionally. You know, Michael was everything to me, you know, everything else. And all of a sudden, he just acted like I didn't exist.
Yeah.
And it tore these kids apart, messed them up.
Well, you know, when you have people that are like that, you know, that's kind of the MO.
No, absolutely. And it almost like he fed off him a little bit, you know, and then to keep his parents quiet, you know what? He gave him a loan for a nice house. And he took the loan and he made it real comfortable and easy for them to pay and gave them some jobs so they could pay it back easy.
Let me ask you something.
Huh?
Would you ever put your child in a situation like that for a loan or for anything?
Well, let me finish this part. So then when things started getting a little crazy and the kid was a bit brushed off, you know, maybe things started coming out that, hey, maybe something was going on. So they started talking about it. And he said, look, guys, just don't bring this up again and I'm going to forget the loan. Wow. So we basically gave him the house. Yeah. And it was sort of hush money.
Right.
And that's what these guys are adults now. And they're talking about these things. And there's 2 or 3 of these guys. And they start talking about this and then they play certain videos and things of Michael because everything was on Michael. I mean, you know, at all points, not just when he was on stage, but even off stage, there were people recording him and what he was doing.
Right.
And you can just see it. And you see the look on even like his face when he was 8 years old or 9 years old. Like he was confused. Like, what's going on? And it's just so weird, man, when you get those two dynamics together where someone's explaining what's going on and they flash back to that and the footage is there and it's sort of, you could see it.
Yeah.
It's hard not to believe it, man. I mean, the reality is a lot of people don't want to believe it about Michael Jackson.
There's a lot of people that were pissed off over that. I read about.
Exactly. And there were people that came out and there's still a couple actors, right? We talked about what are the 2 Corys?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Look at Corey Haim and what was the other one? Corey Feldman?
Feldman.
They had a show, the 2 Corys. They were young guys too. They were around Michael Jackson. He was around them when they were young child actors. And there was a comment made in one of the episodes that you reminded me about.
Right. You know, it was Corey Haim, the late Corey Haim, because he committed suicide. But before that, he had a reality show with the other Corey, and they were doing a therapy with a therapist, and he was breaking down, and they didn't show the whole thing. But the one part that stuck with me always is he said, "You know what he did to us," and he was crying,
right? And
bawling.
That's really what I was getting at. Is that just that one part?
Yeah,
you know what he did to us, and he was all upset.
Yeah, but he never said it exactly the whole thing. He just said, "You know what he did,"
right? And they're talking about Michael Jackson,
right?
So, I mean, the only guys that really didn't come out and say anything were Feldman, Haim, and Macaulay Culkin.
Right.
Basically, everybody else is coming out saying, yeah, he did something or he tried to do something. So, I mean, and it's just tough. It's a tough spot because there was a lot of people that idolized him. You know, like you said, we grew up. That's all we knew. Yeah.
You know,
and then when all this shit came down, and then especially after he passed away, people were thinking, don't tarnish his name after he's dead.
Don't speak ill of the dead.
But the problem is that it's probably would have happened whether he was dead or alive.
And it was happening when he was alive. And Correct. It kind of goes back to when, you know, we were talking about how the NFL with the hush money. You know, that's what he was doing. He was just hushing these families up.
This guy had more money than every country. You know what I mean?
He was also in a lot of debt too, because when he died, he was in some massive debt.
Everybody, yeah, right. But I mean, the reality is
he was worth more dead than alive, though.
No, absolutely. But the problem is he never would have gone broke. I mean, there was always a revenue for him at some point.
Oh yeah. There's
But
always
getting
gonna be
back to the
somebody
story,
that's
man. The story is about misconduct. So you look at things like that, and then you start, digging into it a little deeper, and you go back in time, right? And we were talking about this too pre-show. Elvis Presley,
Yeah.
Jerry Lee Lewis, right? These guys married teenagers. They were renowned, especially Elvis Presley, when he was on tour, that he wanted girls 16 or younger.
Right.
And I forget the guys who's Red or whatever, the famous bodyguard that he had that came out and wrote the book with him.
Yeah.
This guy's had multiple accounts where he had to go find young women.
Right.
And he couldn't find them because it's late at night.
Right.
They're asleep at home.
Especially in the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. They're not out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just so hard. But Elvis Presley was like that. So there's a lot of these guys that have these illnesses and sicknesses. And modern times, you look at R. Kelly.
You look, and right now, I mean, that's what's going through, and we've known about it for a while. And now it's coming out again.
But T, don't you think that's almost like a double standard with people? Because I know people that are like the what is it called? Hashtag silence R. Kelly.
Yeah.
All about bashing R. Kelly for what's going on, but then don't talk about Michael Jackson, the same people.
Oh, it definitely, it's hypocritical, really, more than anything.
I mean, you have to look at the evidence in front of you. We don't know, we weren't there.
Right.
But there's overwhelming evidence in both cases. And I mean, it's both almost the same. You have a couple people in R. Kelly's world that just say, no, he never did nothing.
Right.
They got paid enough money or they just didn't want to do it for whatever reason. But the majority of them are saying, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with all these guys.
There's a lot of girls with R. Kelly that have come out.
Absolutely. But the problem is, and I know one of them, a few years ago, man, sometimes their parents are involved. And that's what we talked about. And that's the fucking shame.
It is.
That's the question you posed me earlier. And now we can get into that. As a parent, what are their fucking parents doing? What are they thinking? I mean, I don't know, T. I mean, it's like you said, if you had a daughter or you had a son and you thought, I mean, to me, even, I don't care how much innocence there is with it. I'm going to be leery of some grown man wanting to hang out with my kid.
Or even have sleepovers.
Yeah, sleepovers unless I'm there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my kid's sleeping next to me, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that ain't going to happen, man.
No, that's what I'm talking about. What are these parents thinking? It's on the parents, right?
It is on the parents.
It's on the children.
Because they're allowing their kids to be put in a situation that's a compromising situation where the parents are supposed to be protecting them.
Absolutely, man. And I think that's the premise on those stories is the parents didn't do what they were supposed to do because they were blinded.
Well, they
were either blinded by
grab.
greed or whatever else. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a money grab by the parents.
Well, at the time, it might not even have been that or just the thought of this guy's going to take care of us and thinking, oh, he's never going to do anything to my child.
But that's still a money grab. By taking care of us. It's
no, absolutely.
Still, it's security of money.
It's more greed.
Yeah.
Because you're just looking at that more than the health and safety of your child.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's bad, man.
But then now you got like the whole Me Too movements, right? And you have all these actors and kind of like what you were saying, stuff that happened a while back ago, but now it's coming out. Now it's starting to actually hit and, the sins of the past are starting to come to bite them in the ass.
Well, that's the thing, right? So, okay, that's what we talked about in the beginning. Okay, let's throw another guy out, Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy, whatever he is, big movie guy, you know what I mean? Dude, he's probably got hundreds of women lined up like that. And there's a few that came out, and now here they all come. But again, man, what are you trying to do at this point? You're just basically saying, fuck it. I'm going to pile on and take this dude down? Because you know what? He has to get stopped.
He has to get stopped.
And I agree, but here's the thing. How many women, and you hear the stories, right? These ladies that didn't do nothing, that went in there. He told them they had to come to his room to read over some lines
right
at midnight. And they open the door and he's in a robe and it's not even closed.
Right.
And his whammer's hanging out, everything else. And you still go in that room? Time out, dude. You know what? I think we got a little bit of some cross signals here. I'm here to work.
Yeah.
You know, they know exactly what the fuck they're doing in there. Okay? And it's their choice to go in there, T. He's not grabbing him by the hair and pulling him in.
And I know you're not, I know what you're saying, and I know you're not condoning it.
No, absolutely. I'm not condoning it. But
that's
remember,
what I'm saying.
I always talk about
it's
a two-way street.
Of course, no. And I know where
there's
you're getting
a little bit of responsibility to those women.
Right. But at the same time.
It's the same as the responsibilities to the parents.
But at the same time, you gotta stop a monster. And I don't care whatever takes him down. You got to take him down. You know what I mean?
Okay, so basically this guy is using his status to bed women. Is that correct?
He not just to bed them, but his status, he's promising them careers. or he's trying to destroy their careers if they don't.
Well, basically telling them, I'm not going to let you work.
Right.
You can't work in anything I'm associated with, and I'll put the word out there
Not
not
just
to hire
what he's
you.
associated
Yeah,
with.
right. Yeah, to put it out there for the people he knows.
Exactly.
But that's how important he is.
But he was also putting it out there, and he was putting like really negative stuff in the press too about them in some of these celebrity type of publications. He was putting out hit pieces on them too. So I mean, he was really damaging people's reputation for his own horrible deeds.
Well, he had to cover his ass. But again, the bottom line with all this stuff is I think there's some kind of other responsibility, not just with that. Unless it's a criminal action, T, and there's a rape involved, then it's just solely on the person at that point. But when you look at like what we just discussed, there's other factors, right? I mean, it's not just all on the people that are doing it. I know they're the main factor, and they're the driving force of the whole thing. But again, like we talked about with the Michael Jackson thing, where the fuck were the parents? They have some liability there. They have to. Same as these women that walked in that room knowing what was going to happen. How many women in time have done that to get ahead, T? And I'm not saying I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, merely asking the question.
No, I get it.
And women that were proud of doing it, or they come out now because they've made it and said they had to do it, like Madonna. Madonna comes out and says it. Hey, I had to fuck my way to the top.
Yeah, no, she's one of the she's one of the few that have really kind of
almost embraced it.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I was,
you know what I mean?
Like almost like a badge of honor for her.
So yeah, but I mean, and you know it, T, and we know it. There's so many of the unwritten or unseen things out there that this thing is just ridiculous. I mean, it's at a point, I think, right now, and it's getting to a point where there's so many people being named in all these things that fuck, dude. I mean, at some point, it's gonna be everybody. Everybody's doing this. At some point, it's some kind of sexual assault.
So let me give you a couple names, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through the whole damn list of things that we started looking at, but we got Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer was fired. He's that dude was big time, right? We got Matt Lauer. We got Charlie Rose, another guy, that was big time on television and CBS. Larry King, man. Larry King's an icon.
No, absolutely.
know?
But again, it's just, I mean, what does it say? Larry King is a groper.
Right.
So he's grabbing ass, he's grabbing tits, whatever else.
Joe Biden has kind of been accused of that recently, too, just within the last few weeks.
President Bush, the one that just passed away in his wheelchair. He stuck his finger in some chick's ass.
Yeah.
She know what I mean? Said, fuck, I didn't do nothing. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
You stood there, bitch.
Geraldo Rivera, in the 70s, they said that he did a sexual assault on somebody. Ryan Seacrest was accused. Oliver Stone was accused. You know?
No, and then look at the list of guys like from the NFL Network.
Right. Well, I mean, it's formerly
like everybody,
the NFL Network.
Yeah, but everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Marshall Faulk, Ike Taylor, Heath Evans, all these guys, Donovan McNabb, Eric Davis. I mean, all these dudes.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. And really what it is, and here's the problem, right? Our system and our judicial system and our legal system, in that you're innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
In the workplace and situations like this for sexual assault, sexual harassment, you're guilty till you prove your innocence.
True.
And that's sort of the fuck thing with it. But the reality is a lot of these guys, there was a lot of evidence to show they were doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the big names, Richard Dreyfuss, or even more of a kind of a newer guy that a lot of people love, Louis C.K.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people loved his stand-up comedy. And I mean, dude, he's a pariah now.
Not just
nobody wants to touch the guy.
No, yeah, you're right. But again, you just talk about killing a career for what? And the reality is, we talked about another guy, and a guy we'll both talk about is Aziz Ansari.
Oh yeah,
I like Aziz.
Yeah, so do I.
Look, he got fucking tarnished, dude.
He did.
And we look at the story up and down, and we both sit there and say, "What the fuck is this?" I mean, what the fuck really happened? He didn't do much.
Well, I don't even think he really did anything at all, to be honest with you. Based off of the facts, I don't think he did anything.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, that's the whole point, is this guy really didn't do much, and a lot of times I don't think they do.
Right.
And that's where I'm going with this, is maybe sometimes this is more of a money grab now because it's so prevalent.
Okay.
Guys would rather shut him up than go through any of this media shit.
Okay, so we live in the time of social justice, though. Okay? And so not even the official courts, our judicial system, which is, like you said, guilty until innocent until proven guilty. But in the social justice system, you are guilty until proven innocent. And sometimes even then, you're still guilty in the minds of many people, no matter what. Just the fact that you've been accused of something. And, you know, it's a different time. Guys have to be a little bit more cognizant of things like that.
And that's my point. A lot of people understand that, right? So it's easier for them to say, go up there and say, hey, you remember that time that me and you did that? I really didn't want you to do that.
Right.
You know what? I'm going to talk to a lawyer.
I think people just need to be honest about things, you know, and not lead people on too. You know, like how you just said, he didn't do anything wrong, but remember the situation. He thought she was into something, you know, that she was kind of giving him signs, and he was kind of, oh, okay. And he read the signs wrong, and he thought maybe that something was going to happen. And it made her feel uncomfortable. I
understand about reading signs wrong, dude, but if you're going in for a kiss and there's a head turn or whatever else, that doesn't mean to go for a finger.
Right. No, you don't do something like that, but
there's your signal.
Right. That head turn right there is your signal for sure.
You know, she starts throwing her tongue halfway down your throat. It's on like Donkey Kong, right?
Up until a certain point, because if she tells you to stop, if you try going further than that and she doesn't want to, or she's not comfortable going further, you have to stop.
Cool. Now you just figure out what base you hit and you go to the next one.
And you go to, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you go to wait for the next date, see if you can get to the next base.
Exactly. You know, but I mean, you know, I don't
know. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have a different thought, right?
There is, man, but there's a lot of people that have been accused of this, and it's just crazy.
Even and the reality is, let's put ourselves into, you know, regular situations,
right?
You know, as men, right? I mean, we go on a date, especially with a hot chick, and we're not thinking long term, whatever else, because we don't even know her, but she's just hot as fuck. What are we thinking? Sex.
Well, yeah,
right.
Of course.
So anything comes up, you're already revved up, ready to go. So any kind of signal comes, fuck, the starting line's on, dude. You're hitting the gas.
Yeah.
So, right? I mean, we could all get in that spot.
All of us. Every guy is at least has that ability to do that.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If you're with a girl and she's, you know, giving you the signals and you guys are touching and rubbing and everything else, what do you feel that when she tells you or what she does to you gives you the green light to go for it? What kind of action does she?
You know, besides the obvious of just grabbing your junk.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think she has to touch that thing first, right?
Right.
If she starts making a move on that fucker and touches it, you're all good.
Right. You know, right? And I think
I think if she doesn't do that, or if you
tread lightly,
thwarts you from touching her junk.
And that's what I was saying. I mean, are you kind of gravitating towards her ass a little bit because the ass isn't that much of a
right. Let's be honest.
It's not an erotic zone as much as you know what I mean.
It's more of a erotic zone for us.
Yeah, not for the woman. Really. You know what I mean? So you can kind of just and
they sort of allow it more.
Yeah, it's a little bit more acceptable. But I mean, once you start getting to more in the actual erotic zones, is in like breasts and others. Then that's when you're gonna find out real quick on whether or not she's into it.
So for her again, you were saying not besides from grabbing your junk, what are the other signals that would say, yes, go for it? I think to me, that has to be it. I don't think there's another signal unless she says basically, come and fuck me.
Right.
Right. I mean, really, what other physical signal other than touching or doing something with your junk?
Well, it depends. And then here's the thing. She doesn't have to touch your junk. If you're both standing and you're leaning into her a little bit and your bodies are pressed up against it, if she grabs you by the waist and she kind of grinds your hard cock against hers.
Your hard cock against her hard cock?
Right.
What are you doing, dude?
What kind of people are you dating?
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's a lot of nuts. No.
Man. All right, I got what
you know what I mean.
She's
pulling you against her, and you're kind of grinding a little bit.
But I've done that too, where I've grinded all over a chick when we're making out, whatever else, and I'm thinking I'm going good. I'm getting the chubby. She's feeling it.
That's a part of it.
And then you go and it stops.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you what a woman does.
That would be the only thing, really, is for her just to grab it.
Right. That's what my point.
Yeah, that would probably be it. That's the only thing.
Unless these girls are grabbing junk, we shouldn't make that extra move, right? I mean, we got to be careful as guys.
You got to tread lightly. You got to tread lightly.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, man. I mean, these guys seem to be. Maybe it's they figure they're untouchable. You don't know who I am or what I do.
That's part of it. When you're a celebrity, that's part of it, because you kind of feel like you're bulletproof. You are untouchable.
And not just that, but you do have the roadie kind of sex, or the groupie kind of sex. The roadie.
Roadie? What kind of people are you dating?
Hey, I'm just saying,
roadies?
dog. I'm just saying, man. The groupie kind of sex. There's chicks that just want to bang you for who you are.
Right. Just a name.
And they'll bang you anytime you want just because of who you are.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty good, too.
I'm not famous, so I couldn't speak for that.
I know. I want to be famous, D. So that happens to me.
Just for that?
Just for that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but dude, going back to the story, man. I mean, this is some serious shit. And these guys need to realize what the fuck they're doing. But I think on a lot of occasions, like we talked about, some of these guys are getting pinched for really nothing. And there's a few of those cases that are popping up, man.
Right, but there are a lot of cases where guys really did some nasty shit.
Okay, does a guy deserve to lose his career for groping a girl? I'm just asking. I mean, really, man.
Once, or we're talking multiple times?
Okay.
You know, because a lot of these that are coming out, they have a history of it.
Right. Okay. So they have a history of it, but I mean, yeah, some of them are once. Some of these occurrences happened once to these guys, and it went,
Well, it goes back to you and I when we were talking and saying we believe that everybody deserves a second chance. Okay, so maybe not just once, but if there's a history, absolutely yes. If there's a history of a guy doing shit like that, then yes.
Yeah, and I think, but I don't think many of these guys that we spoke about, maybe there's, even if you say 50% are in the Weinstein category where they have just a huge history that's just going to get unraveled, but the other 50 may be one-offs. I know there's a couple guys that had some stuff going on, like Masterson and stuff. He had some issues.
Louis C.K. had issues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a few guys, but some of these guys is just a one-time thing, and it didn't even seem too bad. I remember we were looking at a couple stories, right? And I looked at you thinking, fuck, I think I did worse. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I think I fucked up worse. I pulled out my pecker and grabbed her hand on it or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, in reality, man, I think at some points this is so sensitive of a subject that anything is critical now.
It is, because times have changed. Things,
right.
Things are way different, especially when you and I were younger.
Yeah.
To like what the kids and what the younger generation is experiencing right now.
And look at a lot of the people that are getting pinched now. They're a little bit older.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it was a different time, and it was a different era, and
there's continuing with it.
That's what I was going to say.
And now it's just like, fuck it. It's
not
that
acceptable.
Time anymore,
it's not even hushed. It's not even one of those, well, we just don't talk about that anymore.
Right.
No, we talk about everything now because, like I said, everything's in the social media. Everything is out there. People talk about them going to the bathroom.
And you're right.
They're going to talk about this
and
shit.
Basically anything that happens now is going to be put out there.
Right.
I mean, you can't hide it. There's a camera everywhere.
Everywhere.
There's a camera on every corner. There's a camera on every ATM. There's
or
a
even
camera
audio.
on the street post. There's everything.
There's everything.
Everyone's got a phone with a camera.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. There's just nothing that can be hidden anymore. These guys got to realize that.
And some of them are learning, some of them aren't.
Look, man, and here's the bottom line. It's again, I just think it's these things. It's just, it's ridiculous. It's really bad. And it's not just, like you said, even in the last episode, it's not just men. There's women out there doing this too, T.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that's going to start getting unraveled too at some point. Because there's a lot of women that abuse their authority too. And that's not really out there yet. But I think at some point it will be. Because,
because of a stigma. Because there's a stigma. Because if a man was to come out and start complaining against it, what's the first thing other guys say?
Do you ever see Horrible Bosses?
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Remember she was making the advances?
That's what I'm saying. What if a guy were to come out and say it?
Well, remember what his friends were saying to him?
Right.
They all wanted to go bang her.
That's my point.
Dude, bang her. What's wrong with you?
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly my point. And then the guys would be ridiculed. It's our society.
I've been put in that situation, T.
Have you?
Yeah.
And? What'd you do?
I sort of gave in.
You gave into it?
Yeah, but it was different, man.
Was it a boss?
Yeah, it was the owner of the company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I worked for a strip club. She was a porn star.
Right.
Man, what am I going to say?
What are you going to do?
You know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't that great. And you remember, and here's another thing, guy, just to remember, porn stars are they're made up for the TV.
Oh, yeah.
When you see them every day, they ain't the same.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really all that. You know what I mean? But it's your boss. You're younger. She's a porn star. She's drunk. She wants it. Okay.
There you go.
Right. So I'm going to do it. I worked at a strip club. She owned it.
Right. You needed a job.
It didn't have nothing to do with my job. I don't think I would have got fired if I didn't do it, but she definitely made it come on to me in the office. Right. And I didn't.
But I think that's a little bit of a different situation because you're not taking it as I'm going to lose my job or my job will be compromised.
No, but I think some of these stories were the same. They weren't in that. It was just a guy going up there making an advance.
Right.
So that's the same type of thing.
Right, but I'm saying
just flipped in the
context of it being your boss, You know what I mean? It's definitely one of those situations where it could be your job on the line.
Yeah, it was never that, and that was never mentioned. But the whole point was, okay, what if I would have said no? Would it have been uncomfortable for me? I mean, I wasn't going to say no. Don't get me wrong.
But what if?
Yeah, and I thought of that like many years later.
Right.
Would I have been like a little exiled or blackballed?
That's my point. That's exactly my point, you know?
And I'll be 100% honest, T. Saying no never crossed my mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was young and obviously, like I said.
Young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, but you think about it now, what if I would have said no? I mean, let's be honest, back then I probably didn't turn down anything. You know what I mean? Well,
but still.
pretty close. But I'm just saying. But what if you did say no?
And guys approach things differently than women.
Right. And see, this is what I'm saying. I think that's out there too, T. And it's just like you said. It's just not socially acceptable. And because things are still driven by men.
It is.
You know that, hey, they're not going to put that out there as much. But I guarantee you there's going to be some stuff coming out, man.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be,
There
right?
has to be. There absolutely has to be.
All right. So, I mean, again, you know, this is just such a huge topic and we can just keep going on it. But we're going to have to cut this thing off. And again, you know, these are just tragedies, man.
They are.
Tragedies of people that we admire and people that we look up to. You know, and you know, everyone has their own personal lives, T. And I give everyone their own privacy. But when you start doing shit like this and start affecting other people, it's a problem, man.
It is a problem. And you're talking about affecting people's livelihoods.
Not just their livelihood, but their lives for the rest of their lives, scarring them emotionally, mentally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just talked about this. We talked about those kids that grew up and they're still fucked up.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
And they're really, really fucked up.
Yeah, dude. And it's just like, fuck, man. You know, you look at them like, fuck, what kind of normalcy can this person have?
Exactly.
You know, you took away all their innocence, man.
Yeah.
As a child.
Yeah.
You know, they can never get that back, and it fucks them up.
It's messed up, you know, any way you think about it.
Good topic, T, man. I mean, again, you know, it's a rough-hitting topic, but that's how we do it sometimes, man. We got to put that shit out there.
Oh, you have to. You know, you can't hide from this shit.
And let's be honest, though, T, we were, you know, hesitant about these stories and things like this because of the feedback, but, you know, these are things we got to do because this is really trending right now. These things are out there.
It's something that needs to be talked, and if we're not going to do it, then who?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's the point.
Stop sitting on the sidelines, stop bitching and complaining about it, and let's really talk about it.
You know, and guys, if you guys got an opinion about us, get back at us. And that's what this whole show's about, man. Put it out there and we'll throw your opinions out on the air.
Yeah.
You know, that's what this whole thing's about. We want that interaction. We want you guys to wake up out there. That's why we're telling these kind of stories.
You know, email us. The email is getatus@thedoubleshow.com. There you go.
Yeah, you can get at it from our website.
Yeah.
Thedoubleshow.com. www.thedoubleshow.com.
Yeah.
And so all you got to do is,
And there's a section called Get At Us and fill it out.
That's all you got to do, guys.
That's all you got to do. You know, and we want to hear from you. We want to know what are your thoughts on this.
No, absolutely, man. So let's get into the next segment, T.
Yeah, so the next one is the man's corner.
All right, pretty good topic today, T. I think we can just roll on this thing.
Yeah,
man.
this one's kind of interesting. You know, it's so how do you get your lady to like what you like in bed? And this is especially if you just, you know, when you're new dating type of thing, when you're new kind of messing around with a new girl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you do? I mean, she may not be into the same stuff you do, but you really like something. You like a certain position or certain something being done to you. What do you do?
Yeah, no, you're right, man. That's the thing you got to figure out. What do you do here, you know, and what does your lady really like? So
yeah,
but you're afraid a little bit, man. You don't want to overstep your bounds. You know what I mean?
Well, it kind of goes back to what we were just saying. You got to kind of tread lightly a little bit.
Well, yeah, you do. But I mean, at the same time, you sort of got to show your real you.
No,
right?
You do.
Look, dude, I've had so many buddies. Okay, and I'm going to give an example, a specific example, and this is an easy one, right?
Okay.
They start going out with a girl. She's a nicer girl.
Right.
They're getting a little bit older. They know they got to settle down.
Yeah.
They think they found that girl. They're not divulging who they really are. And the point I'm going to make, I'm going to talk about 3 friends, and all 3 of them, because I give them shit. These guys were really into porn. They're like me.
Okay.
We talk about it all the time. You know, we're playing cards, we're doing whatever. Hey, guys, fuck, dude, I'm fucking use my shit, fucking porn every night. You know what I mean? Yeah, XXNX or whatever it is, right?
Right.
Pornhub, whatever else. When they get married, first thing I ask them, does your wife watch porn with you? She doesn't even know I watch, dude.
Right.
She doesn't even know I watch. I don't watch anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Time out. You got to show your wife the real you. I mean, I think that's a recipe for disaster almost, right?
It can be, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at some point, things are going to go sideways, right?
You're definitely playing with fire.
You know, especially if you make that leap and get married. And I mean, to me, and I've done it a couple times already, T, so I'm sort of pretty understanding of this. You got to fucking throw it all out there first. that for this thing to work, right?
So
this is who I am, what I like.
You have to fly that freak flag.
When
if you're a freak, you got to fly your freak flag.
Right,
you
exactly.
Do. You really do.
You can't just be a closet and say, okay, I'm going to deal with it, and hopefully at some point it's going to break out.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Now, you might get a cool chick that's kind of flying her own freak flag too, and maybe that's what brought you guys together. So you knew that at going in.
No, absolutely, and that's sort of the luck part of it. You know what I mean? If you get lucky,
But there are nice girls, kind of like what you were saying, like some nice girls, but they're kind of more conservative, or they're not necessarily flying their freak flag. But then when you get them behind closed doors, that freak comes out.
But yeah, but here's the thing too, right? I mean, some of these girls, right, it takes a while to warm them up.
Sometimes
so they're not going to get that way on the first date. Or they're not even the first date. No, I'm saying the first time you make love. Right. Fuck. All right?
Right.
Whatever you want to call it. So the first time you have sex. Right? What?
There's Dr. X.
Nice, Dr. X.
You're turning him on a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, man. I got a little chubby there. But what I was saying is, so the first time you do it, a lot of girls aren't really comfortable to just, slam it down, dude.
Right.
They're not going to throw the 12 positions and shit.
No.
They're not going to do the Kama Sutra. But they probably know it.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
And a lot of them, they're not going to act like they fucking sword swallower. They're going to dabble in it, dog. Because they don't want you to think they're too crazy. Unless they're... Now, wait a minute. Unless, like you said, she's got a freak flag. She doesn't want to show it because she's thinking the same thing.
Right.
I don't want to think this guy like I'm a slut or something.
Right.
I want him to think of me as marriage material.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to show that. But then you do something to trip her off and just the real her comes out.
Exactly.
Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing for a guy?
It depends on the guy.
Right. Exactly.
I think it really depends on the guy.
It could be both, right?
Right.
I mean, if she's too freaky too fast, you're like, hey, what the fuck is this broad doing?
Well, but the flip side of that, there's a lot of guys who are like, all right, I found a fucking freak. You know what I mean? They don't care about how fast it is. So it just depends on the guy too.
Okay, man, let me throw something out at you, T.
Okay,
just as a guy. And I'm going to say back when, probably even before us, before we were younger, right? The prize was, and I'll say way back in the day, is to marry a virgin.
Right.
Right? Is that really what guys want now?
Hell no.
Right? They want somebody with some experience, right? It's completely done a 180. You agree with that?
I agree with that 100% because also you have it, like guys will avoid virgins. A lot of guys will avoid them that I've talked to.
Because they want action.
Well, not just that. Even if they get action from a virgin, right? Let's say a virgin finally gives it to them.
Okay.
Okay. Right. They give up their virginity to them. Then those women that are virgins are more likely to get clingy. And they think that all of a sudden that's okay, we're getting married now. You know what I mean? They get to like stage 5 clingy.
Because they waited so long and they gave it to the one guy. This has got to be the right guy. Right. Everything else. I guess it makes sense.
And guys don't.
Okay, let me ask another question.
Especially guys won't want that.
Is there even such a creature nowadays as a virgin?
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Very few, right? They're probably like white elephants.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like what we talked about. It's almost like social ineptness if they're not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and
even not talking just female.
No,
male,
guys too.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you think it's more prevalent in men or women?
It depends. I think with men, I think it's men now.
I was going to say that. I think it's sort of flipped.
I think
there's
it
probably
is.
more men that are virgins longer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Going through their adolescence and their high school years or whatever else.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like the kids are more mature now. Right? Doesn't it seem that way?
They have to deal with so many other issues. And so, they are. Man, they're growing up a lot faster too.
Well, I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking they're too immature because they don't know what's going on in the world.
A lot of them do, though. You'll be surprised.
No, because they know about stuff that's on TV and they've watched it, they don't experience it, dude.
Oh, and all these different, yes.
And that's my point. They're all going to live at home till they're 30. They're not mature. And that's what I think is the reason, because they're not out having sex. Like, I mean, let's be honest, man, in the 90s or whatever, when we were growing up, everyone was fucking everybody.
It was crazy
right?
times.
Yeah.
80s, 90s was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. High school was the shit, right?
Right.
I mean, it was just everywhere. And it's just like, I mean.
Let me tell you, my high school, it actually had a maternity section in the high school. And all of the girls that got pregnant in high school was shipped to my school because they had a maternity area where they can kind of teach them how to be moms.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big thing.
Yeah,
back
so
then
everybody in the district that was
knew.
knocked up went to my high school.
Yeah, because they knew that all these high school girls were getting knocked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So it was kind of crazy.
They had to have an outlet for them.
So what do you do then? Like, what would you do if, you're not trying to kind of show your whole hand, but you're trying to kind of like ease her into know or understand some of the shit you're into?
It's, again, like I said, it's about, to me, I'm at a stage in my life where it's about transparency.
Right.
If I like a girl, I'm going to be upfront and honest with her from the beginning. Okay. And if she doesn't like it and she walks, okay, man, I got to go to the next one. And I've realized that trying to make it work because of looks or because of a certain personality that you like in the long term is not going to work. So, I'm straight with these broads.
Right.
Straight up.
Right.
Look, you know what? Hey, man, I'm a horny dude. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting older, but I still want it 2 or 3 times a day.
Right.
Maybe I can't do it 2 or 3 times a day, but I definitely want some for breakfast and I want some for dessert.
Right.
Okay. And I get my 8 hours of sleep or 6 hours of sleep and I can have some breakfast.
Yeah.
But I want you to want it too. I don't just want you as a lump laying there.
Yeah.
And I want them to enjoy it and I want them to have a little bit of experience at my age. I don't want to have somebody inexperienced. I like the interaction. I like them to be, I guess, at the same speed I am, right? And have that interaction where they can take the lead sometimes.
That should be hard to find.
You know what I mean?
That's a white elephant right there.
That's what I'm saying.
That kind of lady.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, the reality is, man, there's a lot of women. And again, I don't like women my age. So, it to me, those are the women that are younger to me, 10 years younger or so, or 30s, mid 30s.
So let me ask you something.
And some of them, they're all right.
Are you, let's say on a date, are you kind of quizzing them in a way, kind of like gauging them while you're out on the date? Are you asking them questions where whatever they answer is kind of leading you towards trying to figure it out?
No, not at all. I don't do it like that. I just try to hang out with a regular conversation during the first part of the date.
Right.
And then you see where it goes after that. If it doesn't seem like there's any steam and it doesn't even look like she's even like leaning on you or touching you or giving you those little signals where at least you guys are going to make out, I guess you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
If that's not going to happen, then it's probably just about to drive home.
So you're not asking her,
else.
You know what?
I'm not really going there yet.
You're not say, so have you ever milked a prostrate?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
No,
Okay.
not at a point.
No, you know what I mean? Curious.
But definitely I'm going to ask her, hey, so, if I see those signals or whatever else, hey, what do you like sexually? What turns you on?
Right.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with an adult conversation.
No,
like
that's a great, legitimate question. And that's the type of conversation you kind of want to have.
And then usually my follow up to that is when they look at me and they either give me that giggle or that dumb look. Okay, let's answer this question first. When you get a soft serve ice cream cone, do you lick it or bite it? And then that answers a lot, bro. Right? Right?
That's a lot of nuts.
So I'm just
Do you
saying,
like nuts on your soft serve?
and there's times, right? You know it, man. We've been in bars before and we hang out and you get a little bit of liquor in you, some of that liquid courage. And you're going up and you're throwing your play on some broad you've never even seen before and she's way out of your league or something. You're just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
You're throwing all the moves out there, all the things out there, man. You're making a fool of yourself. And the whole purpose of that is sex.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I don't want a relationship. I don't even know you.
No.
If you want to do it in the car, I'm good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you want to go to the parking lot.
We can go in the bathroom right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. At that point, it is what it is. But I think for me, I just want to feel the lady out and know who she is first.
Yeah.
And then you get the vibe. If the vibe is nothing's going to happen, maybe that's the last date and you just ghost her.
I'm going to throw this out there. Have you ever met a woman that maybe isn't as experienced as you or maybe doesn't have as big of a freak flag as you, but she's open-minded and she tells you, you know what? If you're into it, I'm willing to try it.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome too, though.
No, it is, T, but there's a problem with that. It's just because you don't get the satisfaction. And reality is you really want someone at your speed. And I understand it. But especially like if you're starting a relationship, and that's probably the premise of it, because I'm not looking for a lockdown relationship.
Right.
I'm looking more for, hey, if you want to hang out, have a good time, and we can get physical, that's cool. And if it's like, hey, I'm into it and you're cool, unless this person's personality and me hanging out with them is just as good as any part of sex with them, then I'll probably go for it.
Right.
But if there's any weakness in the hanging out part, or I look at it like, oh, man, I got to deal with that just to get some of that poon.
Right.
I'm probably not going to deal with that. I'll probably just try it somewhere else. You know, and the reality is, and I just never get this, dude, and I don't understand how guys don't get laid. You just have to have a little bit of discussion, a little bit of conversation, and be a gentleman, dude. And that's really all it is.
It doesn't take a lot.
It doesn't.
Think when you're
and not
starting
just
to
that,
do,
even, but some women don't even want you to be a fucking gentleman.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Okay, but
So,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Kind of going back to like, you know, you're throwing your lines at a lady in a bar. You know, sometimes there's a lot of ladies out there that don't want to hear lines. They just want you to approach them like a normal person. You know, and that's going to get you more places than anything.
Again, it's whatever you decide to do. But that's my point, is at some point you just say, fuck it. You're just going to go for it.
Right.
You know, you're not going to deal with whatever else happens. You know, and okay, like a one night stand, obviously you don't care. You're just doing your freak thing. You're getting your stuff off. And if she can hang with it, she can hang. If she doesn't like it, she's going to tell you no, or she's not going to work, or whatever else.
Right.
It is what it is. But I think for your lady, you guys sort of almost have to be on that same page right away.
Well, it's nice to be on the same level, you know, but there's times where, let's face it, you really like a chick, you're into them, but you're not on the same level. But that doesn't mean that it's a negative. That doesn't mean that that's something wrong with that. You can help bring her to that level as long as she is willing. And that was my point from earlier. If she's willing to do it, if she's willing to say, you know what, I don't do that, but I'm at least open-minded to do it. And you never know. If she starts getting into that, even better.
I think it depends on the guy. And I think like you, maybe it sounds like you're willing to do that. I'm not.
Right.
You know, this is this stage of my life, because I know that there's a lot of women out there that are even more freakier than me. You know, and it's not a thing where and to me, what you're talking about is more relationship. You're looking for a long-term relationship to give that girl that extra time.
Right.
And that's not what I'm about right now. So for me, it's really, I got to make sure that this lady's really, you know, we're compatible in bed.
Right.
You know, because that's going to be a lot of what we're going with.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, and that's the reality of it. I think it just depends on what you're looking for and what phase in your life and what you're doing, right? Really, and what you're going to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, but for me at this point, man, I'm just looking for the freakier the better. I like freaky. I like a little cray-cray. You know what I'm saying? I do, man.
All right, so let's end it with that. We know that R.W. King likes a little cray-cray and a little freaky-deaky.
What the fuck?
That's right, I do, Dr. X. You know that, man.
Really?
Yeah.
How does he know that?
Because I told him, man. So it's talking about freaky,
you
man.
told
T.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, freaky. Why don't you go into this story, T?
So one of our new favorite bits.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
So, did you know that high heels were originally worn by men?
Yeah, I know. And Dr. X wears them. Anyway, go ahead.
I
man.
can't even keep a straight fucking
Sorry,
face.
dude,
Now, everybody listening.
remember those boots he was wearing a few weeks ago?
Everybody listening, this is what I'm fucking dealing with. I got to deal with these two fucking idiots. And that's why we named the show Incoherent Idiocy. Jeez. All right. Anyway.
Did you see those boots he was wearing a couple weeks ago, dude?
Yeah. I mean, I had a pretty high heel, but come on.
I'm just saying.
Anyway,
man.
in the 10th century, men in Europe adopted the now classic fashion choice of heels to make it easier for them to ride their horses. Adding heels to their boots made it easier to stay in their stirrups.
Okay, man. But does that mean like high heels? Like,
Yes. Because have you ever ridden a
okay, well,
horse?
look at the picture, man.
Well,
You know, they're showing stilettos, bro.
okay,
They're showing fucking stilettos. I don't think these guys meant stilettos.
they're fucking
right?
heels. I don't know.
So do you think they meant like little pointy heels like that, or like bigger, thicker heels?
It might have been a little bit wider,
Right? I mean,
But it's still a heel.
Look at how they're making it seem, though.
but
man.
it's still a heel. Now, can you tell if that's a girl or a guy in that?
Well, those legs are pretty thick.
They're
bro.
kind of thick, so you don't know.
And look at the feet are bulging out of those shoes, dude. It's a dude.
Yeah, no.
It's a dude.
Oh, it could just be a chubby woman.
Yeah, it's a dude, man.
You know, you ever remember, I know we're dating ourselves, but back in the day, Married with Children, when Al would have to put a shoe on somebody and she says that she's like a size 4 or something. And he's like,
because he
"Come
worked
on."
at the shoe, he was a shoe
And
salesman.
she's about, 1,000 pounds. And she's like, I'm a size 4. And he's like, yeah, right. And he's trying to put it on and it won't fit.
Yeah, no.
I mean, come on. But the Persian cavalry wore inch-high heels in a trend that spread to Europe, since they showed that wearing the wearer owned and maintained horses, high heels became associated with the upper class.
Okay, see, that says an inch high. The fucking picture they got is like 7 or 8 inches.
No, that's a 3-inch heel.
That's not a 3-inch heel, dude. That's the whole length of her foot. Just,
no.
Look, slide it to the bottom of her foot. That's not a 3-inch heel, dude.
Still.
The length of her foot isn't 6 inches.
But the fact is.
7 inches.
The fact is, high heels were started by men.
Well, yeah, all the little guys in France, right?
No, but the Persian cavalry started it.
Oh. I thought it was just like made famous, those guys with France with all the ruffly shirts.
No, Dick.
With the long curly hair.
Oh, no. Europe started it afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they adopted it, but the Persian cavalry was the one that started it.
Yeah, and Dr. X readopted it.
Well, there you go. I mean, he's just sporting it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, man, this is pretty interesting shit, though. Did you know?
Did you know?
All right, so what do we got next, King?
Yeah, we got a little bit of different spin up here, T, on our sports, man, and I'm a little not too happy with this, but I'm going to go with it. All right, so I know you guys really want this a lot. It's the beginning of baseball season.
Yeah.
So things are a little bit different now and a little bit dead in the NBA side. We got some playoffs going on, but we're going to take a week off of playoffs. NFL is just, off season.
Right, it's dead right now.
So we're going to give you a little bit of some MLB predictions, man.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just get into it, man. Let's just go for it.
All right, so I think we're going to be starting in the AL East.
Yeah, we'll talk about the AL East a little bit. The Rays, the Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Orioles, right?
Right.
So the two teams perennially in there all the time are the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Right.
It really comes down to pitching in baseball, T.
It does.
And the hitting is what it is. I mean, there's some teams that don't even have big name sluggers and they do really well. It just depends. They play small ball. They manufacture runs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got teams that are just monster beasts. They're just like murderers row.
Right.
So I think there's all of that in this division. I think the Rays are playing really well right now. They got a good young nucleus.
They do.
I don't think they're going to last throughout the marathon. Remember, this is a marathon.
This is a marathon.
And we're talking about it right now as 30 games in. So to me, I think probably it's just going to be the Yankees and the Red Sox on top of this division again. One will be the winner, one will be the wild card.
I agree with you on the Yankees. Even with the injuries they've had, even though it's the start of the season and they're still pretty young, we're only 30 games in, they've had some key injuries lately. But it's a long season, like you said. So I think they're going to be, in the long run, they're going to be the one on top. But I think a close second will be the Rays. We all know that it's hard to get off to a bad start and recover. And Boston, even though they are the champs, they have just gotten off to a really bad start.
Well, they lost a lot of guys,
They
and that's
did.
usually what happens when you win a championship.
You're
All
right.
your free agents get picked up by other places and sign huge contracts.
Right,
Because
exactly.
they just won the World Series.
And I don't think they have the horses right now to be able to do it again.
Well, I think the team chemistry is a little different because a lot of guys changed.
Right.
A lot of pitchers changed.
They're already 6.5
You know what I mean?
games back.
But remember, T, last year, their pitching sucked. They were just hitting the shit out of the ball.
But they're not doing that this year.
Right. It's just they just have to get in the groove. It's a marathon, bro.
It is, but 6.5 games back to begin.
It's nothing right now.
It's still
nothing.
something, man.
No, because in a week it could be 3. And you're still only not even a third of the way through the season, a quarter of the way through the season.
I still think that it's going to be the Yankees and the Rays in the top two fighting for that division.
Nah, I think the Rays are just so young they're going to fall off, and they have no pitching. They got young pitchers, and these guys are going to hit a wall.
That's true.
You
That's
know,
true. But
so go to
we'll
the AL
see.
Central, man.
Yeah, so let's go jump into the AL Central. We got Twins, Indians, Sox, Tigers, Royals. We know right now out of the gate that the Royals are not going to. They're not going to contend for anything. They just don't have the. They just don't have the talent. They don't have the players.
Well, they blew up their team.
They
dude.
did.
When they made
They did.
they had their championship. Everybody's gone from that, so they're sort of retooling their team. So you expect them to be down this year.
Right. And the team that I expect to be on the top of the AL Central is just a team that's been there for, the last 3 to 4 years. Solid is the Indians. They've been there every time.
No, yeah, and they've made it close, man. They probably should have won. Probably should have been in the World Series.
Right.
So yeah, they have a really good team.
They do.
They have some veteran players. They have some good players. But didn't Kluber just hurt himself?
He did. But,
but
again, it's not season ending or anything like that.
Yeah. So, to me, I think one of the wild card teams, again, I don't understand why they don't do good, man. They got some really good hitters, and especially their first baseman's a monster is the White Sox.
Yeah.
They have good stretches, man.
They do.
There goes their pitching
They're
again.
not consistent,
and they let
though.
Chris Sale go.
They did. And
Once they let Chris Sale go, dude,
was it.
yeah. You could have hung around there, picked up one more guy, and you might have made the playoffs. But now that you shipped him off, you got to get 2 studs.
Right.
So I agree with you, man. I think the Indians are going to come out of there. I don't think they're...
Twins are going to be at the right
Look,
there
the
with
Twins
them.
organization does well, man. They do well with nothing.
They do.
You know, and they develop young players still. So they have a good farm system and they develop young players. So they might be in the mix too.
Yeah, they remind me of the A's. You know, how they develop their farm system. They always have good young players.
I think the best farm system in Major League Baseball is still the Dodgers.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, and they're still the ones putting all the money into it, you know, with Camelback Ranch.
Right.
So, yeah, you know, I think it's still going to be the Indians, but I think the Twins might hang around in this division.
I think so too. Yeah. I think that's pretty solid.
All right, so what about the AL West, T?
Well, the AL West, there's two teams. It's a two-team race there. You have the Astros, the Mariners, the Rangers, the Angels, and the A's. And quite honestly, it's all about the Astros.
No, you're right. You know, it's a two-way race because it's only 30 games, man.
Well, yeah, no, but the Mariners are a good young team. You know what I mean? They've
right,
really
so
put together a solid team.
Their best pitcher is King Felix.
Yeah.
And he's already at the end of his shit. His window's closed.
True.
He can't fire like he did before.
But they're playing well right now. They really are.
You know, the disappointment in this division, T, is always the Angels, right? I mean, they're just fucking, they suck.
I can't get excited for the Angels for shit.
Well, I never could either. I don't like them. But I'm just saying, I mean, we're Dodger fans. Why would I like the Angels?
No,
but my point is...
But even then...
Dude, they can't do nothing.
No.
They just can't do shit.
No, they can't.
You know?
And they spend tons of money, and they don't do anything.
Yeah, no, and I got buddies that are Angel fans. And
So do I.
It's like, guys, pull your heads out of your ass.
I tell them the same thing. We get into arguments all the time.
Like, come on, dude. And you know what? They probably became Angel fans when those fuckers won the World Series. When Mike Scioscia, the ex-Dodger,
it took a Dodger to teach him.
Even Mickey Hatcher.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
It took Dodgers.
Yeah, you're right, T. The Astros are going to smash this fucking division. They're just going to kill it.
And they're only a couple years removed from their World Series victory.
You know the thing,
their
though, that's a
team is
little
solid.
weird, though, man, right? And I know I don't follow baseball, but here I go because I'm just a jack of all trades.
Jackass of all trades?
Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's still unsigned.
Unsigned.
This guy was a Cy Young talk guy for the last 2 years. He was a finalist 2 years ago.
I want to know what the hell's going on, why he's unsigned.
I think there's something going on with the ownership, dude. I think that these
get
guys,
that.
because I think what they're doing is making a power play to guys to get their money down.
Right.
Okay, you want that kind of money, I'm not going to sign you. And I'm going to let you sit there even though you got talent.
So they're doing the opposite of Le'Veon Bell.
What do you mean?
Where they're forcing him to sit instead of him sitting on his own.
No, they're just telling him basically we're not going to pay you.
Right.
You got to bring your price down. They're not forcing him to sit. They're forcing him to bring his price down.
Right, but he
doesn't
forcing
have to
him
sit.
to sit because he's not going to if he doesn't budge.
That's up to him, though.
Right.
They're not forcing him to sit. They're telling you we're just not going to
No,
pay you.
you're forcing his hand because you know he's not going to budge. Let's know your enemy.
Here's the bottom line, T. He will budge. Because if all of them are doing it, which they're all doing now, what's your other choice, T?
But he hasn't yet.
Okay, what's your other choice? What's your choice?
Sit out a year?
No. Sit out 10 years? Because it isn't going to change next year. The owners aren't going to change their mind next year.
I don't know.
If they haven't signed him now.
I think there's going to be a team that's going to lose a big pitcher.
No,
and
you're
they're
right.
going to have to be. Their hands going to be forced.
No, yeah, but they can't. I guarantee you. Watch what happens. He's not going to get the money he was asking for
Probably
in free
not.
agency.
Do they ever? Does anybody ever really?
Yeah, they do. A lot of them do, and they get more. It's stupid money in baseball, dude.
Yeah, but I think like even with Harper, man, when he got stupid money, Harper got stupid money, and it wasn't even what he originally wanted. But
yeah, you don't know. Yeah, you're right. But
that's what I'm saying. Do they really ever get what they really want?
A lot of them do. That's what I'm saying. Just because you mentioned one guy, a lot of them do, T. They won't play for less than that, and they've been paying them. But I think what baseball's saying now is, you know what, man? We can't continue with this trend.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking getting out of hand. There's no salary cap in baseball.
You know, there's
luxury tax.
But there has to be at some point.
Well, it has to get to an even playing field.
Right.
And that's what everybody's arguments always been with the Yankees.
Yeah.
They got the money to spend. They were the first team that had their own network. Well, now they do.
Now they do, yeah.
Now they're in a spot like that, but that's only been the last 6-7 years.
Well, yeah, because under McCourt.
The Yankees have been doing this for the last 15 years.
Right.
They were the first team to go on and have their own TV network.
Right.
They were getting money back in the day.
They were.
So
they were a juggernaut, man.
That's why they were just buying everybody. They could buy every free agent. And you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. It didn't necessarily mean they won a championship.
But they had a really shitty farm system. As a result,
it didn't matter at that point.
It didn't matter.
You know
that's
what I mean?
Exactly,
if you're going to spend the money and that's your formula.
It's like the Lakers, the way they used to build things.
Yeah, if that's the way you're going to do it, then you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, you just build through free agency. But getting back to the AL West, man, I really think the cream of the crop is the Astros.
There's no other crop in there.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest.
The Mariners, just because they're tied with them right now, they don't have a team.
Yeah.
They just can't hang. This is a marathon.
Right. In the long run, no, they're not going to hang.
You know,
It's gonna be
the Astros, they got bounced a little bit early last year, so they got some rest. So they're going to be fired up again. They got some motivation and some main core of guys. You got, Korea. You got those other guys there.
Yeah, they got some good players, man.
The middle infield is tops.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Altuve and Korea, those are the two best middle infielders in the business.
Really, yeah.
So, all right, let's go to National League, man.
Let's do a little National League. We're going to start off with some National League East. We got Phillies, Mets, Braves, Nationals, and the Marlins.
All right.
So who's your pick? The Marlins?
No, man.
You're going to go out on a limb?
No, absolutely not. Fuck those guys. I'm not even going to take the Nationals, and the Nationals probably have the best pitching staff in this division.
Yeah.
Strasburg just broke a record, too, and I got the alert the other day, the fastest guy to like 3,000 strikeouts, 2,000. I don't know what the
Something
number
like
was.
that.
But he's a stud, too.
He is.
You still got Scherzer there.
Yeah.
They got rid of Gio. Gio's gone. And they don't have, Harper, obviously, but they're still a good team. But I think the team that's going to come out here, and I'm just going to throw it out, man, I'm going to give it to the Mets. Okay, I think the Phillies are a little bit strong, but I look at the Mets rotation, and they still got a pretty good pitching rotation.
The Mets have a good pitching staff.
And you got two studs like that, and it just reminds me of when the Dodgers were doing that Greinke Kershaw shit.
Yeah.
And, dude, when you can go into a series, and even if it's a 3-game series and these guys are throwing 2, you're going to win the series.
Yeah.
You got a damn good chance to win the series.
You do.
Because these guys are on more than they're off.
Right.
And that Syndergaard guy's pretty good. He just won a game for him the other day, threw a 1-0 shutout, and hit the home run for the game winner.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy did it all.
They're
young, they're good. And you know what? In this division, I think the Phillies are there too, and they're pretty good. And now you got Harper over there. You got a couple young guys there. And yeah, they came out to a hot start, and they're doing good. But I'm just going to go with the Mets, man, because I think it's a crapshoot. I think you go Phillies or Mets here.
I don't think you're far off, though. I really don't. I think you're pretty close because the Mets are a damn good team. They're a lot better than what most people gave them credit for. And really, I think the Phillies, they're still kind of filling themselves out, with the Harper dynamic in there and stuff like that. I mean, the chemistry is still just being built right there. So I think the Phillies are maybe a year out from winning the division and really pushing hard. But the Mets,
they got to get some more pitching help.
They do. They absolutely do. But the Mets, you're right. They have a very good pitching core.
When you get into the postseason, right, T, it's all about the pitchers.
It is. It's all pitching.
It's like we talk about in the NFL. It's all about the quarterbacks in the NFL in the postseason.
Right.
It's about stars. In every playoffs and every big thing is about stars.
And Phillies don't have that. Yeah. Philly just doesn't have that right now.
They just don't got the big flamethrower yet.
No, they don't
get it.
And that's something, like I said, maybe they're a year out from getting that kind of guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I think you're right. I think the Mets have a really good shot, but it is a toss up between those two. I think it's kind of close. So what else we got? We got NL Central.
Yeah, man. So again, to me, I think the Cardinals are the class of the division. I don't think they always are.
Always.
Fuck, dude. These guys just keep fucking reloading.
Yeah, no matter what.
They broke their shit down just a few years ago. I figured these guys are going to be in flux for a few years. They're right back
They're already back in it.
Yeah. 1 year, dude. Like, fuck, man. I'm sick of them. And they got, I got to put this out there, though, dude. I think their fans are the most educated, understanding baseball fans in the league. Their fans know their shit.
They do. You
know what I mean? And props to their fans, man, because that just means that they're following their fucking team.
Well, they got no football franchise, so might as well, right?
Well, yeah, now. But, I mean, even back then it didn't matter because even when the Rams were there, these guys were still just as big.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I just think that the Cubs are on a downer a little bit. I just don't think they are what they are. They got a couple guys on the tail end. The Brewers might make a push here. I don't like the Brewers, man. I just don't think the Brewers pitching staff's good enough.
I don't either.
I think they got holes in their lineup.
They do.
I love Yelich.
Yeah.
But I really don't like nothing else. I mean, Brian Braun to me is a hit and miss. I don't appreciate his defense. I don't think he's that great defensively.
No, he's not.
They stick him in left field, and that's let me throw you here because you can't play.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in Major League Baseball, your stud field is right field.
Is your right fielder.
Yeah, and center field. So, yeah, man, I mean, to me, I don't think they got what it takes. But, hey, you never know.
You never know.
They were there last year. They made it with the Dodgers to the pennant or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And I just think the Cardinals got too much going again. They got too much steam. They are right back where they were. And now the Brewers are going to have to fight those motherfuckers. And I don't think they can.
I don't think they have the horses to be able to keep up with the Cardinals. I think you're right. The Cubs are going to be right there with them. But ultimately, the Cardinals, they are the crown jewel of the NL Central. They really are.
No, now, and they're back again.
Yeah.
You know, their pitching staff's young is good. Waka, all these guys, they just keep coming.
I can't believe that, like you said, it's hard for me to fathom that they're back in it
so fast.
No,
you're
Usually that takes 4 or 5 years for a team to
props to their ownership and their upper management, right?
Well, their scouts, everything.
Everybody.
Everybody. I mean, it's crazy. Pirates are never in it, man. Reds are just crap.
Pirates had a couple years. They had some stuff with McCutcheon and some other guys over there, but they're
shout out to Puig on the Reds over there. You know, former Dodger. Traded him to the Reds.
Shout out to him, dude. He's in last place.
I know, right?
Yeah, you're loving it over there, right?
Exactly.
Him and Matt Kemp. They're both over there,
Matt Kemp got shit. Yeah, Matt Kemp's over there too. Yeah, that's right. All right, and our favorite, the NL West.
Okay, this is the easy one, man.
Yeah. Doyers, no matter what. Not just because we're fans, but let's just face it. I mean, the Dodgers, they're solid. You know, we talked about it on the last episode. Cody Bellinger, he is just tearing it up. But not just him. It goes beyond that. I mean, if you look at that team, they're on fire right now. Even though, yes, I know there's only one right now. The Diamondbacks are nipping at their heels. But you're already seeing the Padres, they were in first place for a little while. Just briefly, when the Dodgers had, like a 6-game losing streak. You know, it
looks like the Padres probably already won more games than they did last year.
They have, but
you were talking shit about Machado.
But wait a minute.
I told you they had a good young team. They just didn't have many pitching.
But they don't have, see, again, what we talked about. They're young.
Right.
They're still developing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you go back into Denny Green when he said about the Bears, they are what we thought they were.
Well, we don't know what we think they are yet.
No, we know that they're a young team. We know that they're...
Yeah, you're right there, but we don't know what they can do.
No, we don't know what they can do, but we know that they're not going to do anything right away.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean? That's my point, is the Padres aren't going to really contend. They're not going to... they're probably going to be, back and forth between the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. I mean, those three are going to... The Giants are just out of it no matter what. They're just in... That's a team in turmoil. But the Dodgers are going to be the ones coming out of the NL West.
I think the Dodgers are going to come out of this division only because of one thing. Everybody else sucks. And that's the bottom line. There's really no one to compete with them. Last year, Colorado put up a fucking swing for a while, but it was more because the Dodgers were inept.
Right.
The Dodgers should have blown them away.
They should have.
They should have won by 10 games.
Easily. And they did the year before. The year before, I think they won by 12 or 13 games.
Yeah, and the reality is no one in this division has the talent of the Dodgers, and they shouldn't be close. And if they are, it's just another downplay of the Dodgers.
Right.
So the Dodgers won 6 divisions in a row already? Something like that?
6 or 7.
Yeah. So you know
like
what,
that.
man? Yeah, they should win another one.
They should.
If they don't, you know what? Then they're fucked up.
Right, and there's no reason for them not to.
Yeah, and it's easy. Just get this shit done and get in the fucking playoffs again and see what you can do.
Right, and I think this year, with some of the additions that they got, I mean, Pollock, and I know he's on the DL right now.
Yeah, you know what, man? But I think that might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise because that's going to give Verdugo a little bit more playing time.
Yeah, and let's see what he can do. Because he shows signs of brilliance.
No, this guy's the man, dude. They got to get him playing time. He hits lefty, he hits righty, his defense. He just fucking gunned a dude out from the wall.
Right.
Come on, man. Give the kid some playing time.
No, he's going to get it.
He was stuck in the fucking minor leagues because of how loaded our outfield has been. Again, give him his chance.
We talked about that. It's what we talked about last time. You just have so much talent in that whole farm system.
Well, the other one is that we don't remember because he didn't play last year was Andrew Tolles.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Tolles is coming back. He's out there with Michael Thompson's kid rehabbing, and they're waiting for those guys to come back.
Right.
Andrew Tolles he's healthy now, but he was not around the team because of personal reasons, and they respected it. He just got back to Camelback Ranch last week, and they said he should be in game shape in a couple weeks.
And that's just going to add to their depth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So what was it, a couple years ago where it was Dave Roberts' first year when they were tearing it up? They had a lot of injuries that year, but they just plug guys in they'd call somebody up from the minors, plug them in, and it was like nothing ever happened. It was crazy. They're so deep.
Right.
They're just so
they're
fucking
still
deep.
Yeah, they're still deep like that. And they got guys that can play so many different positions.
Yeah.
They never get hurt if they got to move their lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
The team's set up so good.
Yeah, the makeup is just great of that team.
And they got tons of pitchers. They got tons of starting pitchers. They're set up.
Their biggest weakness right now is their bullpen. That's
well,
their
it's just
weakness.
acting weak now, and right. It's been flip flop every other year. So
Right.
one year the starters are great, the bullpen sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year the bullpen's great, the starters suck.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes, man. They'll be fine when it all shakes out at the end.
I hope so. I really do.
All right, T. That's enough of baseball, man. We're gonna be doing that anytime soon again, are
Oh,
we?
come on.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, okay, let's do this again, like at the end of the season, man. Towards the end of the season.
Towards the end,
yeah, like
leading
maybe
into
like
the
a
playoffs.
month left.
Yeah.
Because that way we can actually target and track who we picked.
True.
Because we're not going to remember 2 years from now when the season ends.
We're not.
All right, man. So what are we going to go into next, man?
Next, we have...
News team, assemble!
We got a little what the fuck news.
All right, man. Go ahead and get into it, T.
All right. So today we have a missing Ohio dog turns up in Florida exactly 1 year later.
This is a pretty cool story, man.
This is crazy because an Ohio dog left the second worst state in the union to go to the worst state of the union. Go fucking figure that one, right?
T, stop.
I'm just saying.
Dude, stop,
Come
man.
on, King.
Look, dude, you got to stop. Okay.
Why?
You could just say it's just a tough state or something like that, but let's not say it's the worst states in the union.
I didn't.
We want people to listen in those states.
Excuse me.
No, you can't say
Fucked
the
up
caveat
Ohio.
after, except the people who listen to us. Doesn't work like that, T.
Why not?
Because there's people that haven't listened to us yet, and they live in Ohio, so they're included in that group.
Look, if you've gotten this far, in the show,
gosh.
that means you're not easily offended. So you're not
Right.
so you know
we don't want it to grow.
what.
So now the
that's
first
what I'm
one they
saying.
hear is they hear about Ohio being fucked up, and they go, I ain't
It's
gonna
a
listen to my state get
See,
fucking bad mouth.
there you go, fucker. There you fucking go. Don't even fucking start.
All right.
All right. So the Ohio family,
Do this fucking story, dude.
Ohio family's missing dog turned up exactly 1 year later and over 1,000 miles away in the Florida Panhandle.
That dude had to be tired, bro.
Dude, I mean, seriously, that's a hell of a walk. This was a Exactly. This was a 3-year-old Pekingese dog named Bruno.
This is a little dog, a Pekingese,
yeah, the
right?
Pekingese are tiny, dude.
Oh, dude, you know how long it would take for this dude to go over 1,000 miles?
I'm saying, how the fuck did that happen? He must have had help. Maybe somebody picked him up and then he ran away again. Who knows? But he escaped during a walk. When you have a little dog like that, how the hell does he escape?
Well, no. Okay, maybe he saw another dog decided and ran.
But don't you have him on a leash?
Yeah, but sometimes it goes through or whatever else. You
I'm
just
just
never know,
saying,
man. I'm just
man.
saying, too. You know, I mean, there's opportunities for that.
So they didn't know what happened to this guy.
But
though.
wait a minute. I think the more disturbing thing is, why did they use the term escaped? What was he escaping from?
Well, I
Did
want
he
to know
just
those
get away?
people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's
Yeah.
escaping Ohio.
Oh, fuck. There you go again, dude.
So the family didn't know what the hell happened
Quit
to him.
fucking
Though.
with my state, man. Anyway, go ahead, bro.
You sure do have a pretty mouth.
You sure do. How was some mustard with my taters? Here, go ahead.
French fried potatoes.
Mustard with my taters. Go ahead, dude.
So anyway, they thought he got hit by a car. They didn't know what the hell happened. Then there was a shelter that he showed up at, right? And it was in the Florida Panhandle. And they said that Bruno had been brought in by a member of the public who found him wandering alone in the rain. And so the shelter scanned his microchip and contacted the family. So this dog has been on the run for a year. Poor fucking dog, man.
Dude, he made it for a year.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Now he got
do you think
returned.
Do you think he just went up to people's houses like, hey, man, you got something to eat, bro?
I'm sure people fed him. It's okay.
Well, no, but why would you leave then? But think of the nature of dogs,
Well, yeah. I mean,
right? I mean, this dude just had to be a badass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right?
You figure he's just a wandering man.
Even for a Pekingese, he's a badass. Dude.
He has to be.
Right? I mean, hey.
And Pekingese are not tough dogs, but to be able to survive for a year, I mean, come on, dude. Seriously.
Nah, yeah.
Shout out
right,
to that fucking dog, man.
Fuck, dude. He lasted a fucking 1,000 miles in a year, dude. And they found him in the rain.
I'm just going to say this. My dog is not a Pekingese.
Not just that, dude, but wait a minute. From Ohio, and he left in April.
Yeah.
So he had experienced winter.
He did.
Nah, dude.
That's a badass fucking dog,
Nah,
dude.
Something had to happen,
How?
dude.
Well, you think he was in somebody's house for a little while?
No, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe somebody befriended him.
Yeah.
Or took him in, and then they took a road trip, and he got lost down in Florida or something.
Who knows, man?
You know, or he bailed out of them on Florida.
Don't you wish you had
like
like a GoPro on him or something like that just to track what he
like
did?
a GPS and know where the fuck he went?
Yeah, you know what I
You know
mean?
what I mean?
Just to kind of chronicle his life.
Yeah,
That would have been pretty bitchin'.
I guess have a movie like that, huh?
Oh, there's something like that, A Dog's Life
Yeah,
or some
I think
shit
so,
like
man.
that. But
yeah, no, good story.
But this is real legit shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go on to the next story.
So what do we got, King? What's the next one?
Yeah, so the next story, man, this is a little fucking crazy too, right? I mean, fucking skydiver reunited with his prosthetic leg after he lost it, bro.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. So no, an unlucky skydiver was reunited with an important possession after the prosthetic leg he lost in midair turned up at a California lumberyard. So this guy was a skydiver, man. He jumped out of a plane, and I guess he didn't have that thing hooked up right.
Wouldn't you kind of like the pre-jump check, kind of just make sure that thing is secure?
No, you're right, but I'm sure at some point sometimes things happen to you. Maybe it comes undone, or no. I'm just thinking maybe somehow because it's like a suction cup, right?
I don't know.
I think it's like a suction cup.
Yeah, I'm not sure
and
how
it
they
just
work.
fits on the stump part of the leg.
Okay.
You know, they sort of fit it to fit that.
Right.
And it sort of just like sucks it in. So I think there's a way that it could come off.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, because most of the time, right, you're putting pressure on it.
Right.
So it isn't like,
So it's not like...
Right. So maybe the pressure was pulling it off.
Wouldn't that
was
make
in
the
the air.
landing a little bit difficult or interesting?
Well, I think it would be interesting anyway with the prosthetic leg anyway.
No, but with one leg.
Well,
At that point, with one leg, you know what I mean?
Oh,
you might
yeah.
be coming in a little hot. That might be a little difficult.
Yeah, but I mean, if he was experienced or
He
something,
probably
you know
is.
what I mean? Yeah.
He probably is.
Well, okay, man. So what happened is this guy jumps out of a plane. He gets down, touches down, knows his leg's off. Doesn't find it for a while, man. So what they did is the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post that the workers at a lumberyard in Cloverdale were baffled when they discovered an intact prosthetic leg Monday, and the deputies contacted a nearby airport to help with the investigation. The investigators found a man named Dion had gone skydiving Sunday and lost his prosthetic leg in midair.
Wow.
The sheriff's office reunited him with his artificial limb.
That's crazy.
Great guy, full of humor, who said he lost his first leg in a freak skydiving accident 2 years ago, but that hasn't held him back. He jokingly quipped that this was his second leg he lost while skydiving, bro.
So the whole reason why he's missing a leg in the first place is because of skydiving.
Well, that he lost it. He's not. No. He lost a prosthetic leg before. Not.
Oh, he lost a prosthetic.
Yes,
It just said his first leg. So I'm thinking that was his real legitimate leg in a freak accident. That's his real leg, G.
Oh, shit, dude. I was reading this like he lost his other leg.
No.
That's how he lost his
fucking real leg in the first place.
Yeah, see, dude, I'm fucking stupid.
So he's
man.
lost his leg twice.
Wow, dude.
What are the fucking odds? Well, at least one of them you could kind of get back and put back on.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. So, I mean, a freak skydiving accident, so he probably came in hot.
Right.
Shattered that thing and they couldn't fix it. So they had to yank it off.
Right.
And now they bought him a fake. And he's just like,
whoop.
He's like, fuck it. Yeah, it fell off.
Right.
But he says he promises to make a tether and learn from this, but fully plans to stick with his passion of skydiving.
Oh, well, that wouldn't deter me. For sure.
Well, dude, if you lose your
real
leg, doesn't deter you.
Right.
Losing your fake leg ain't gonna.
Exactly.
Because you know he's got a spare at home.
He's got to.
Yeah, or he's got something. Don't they have like those skateboards now?
Well, no. Look,
you sort of like lean on it. Like, you know when your leg's fucked up, your ankle was broke or something? Have you seen those?
Oh, yeah,
It's not crutches anymore. It's like a scooter.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just get one of those?
No, you can see in the picture when the cop is reuniting him with his leg, he's got another leg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got a backup leg,
Yeah,
dude.
so he's wearing his backup.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You know? So I think that's kind of cool, though, that he's, he's going to tether it now. I mean, I figured he would have done that in the first place,
Dude,
just in
this
case.
dude lost his real leg skydiving and he's still jumping, dog.
That's awesome, though, man, right?
I don't know.
I mean, for
about
love of
awesome.
sport.
All right, I guess if you put it that way, I'm thinking sort of stupidity.
Well,
Like, dude, get the fuck out. That was your lesson.
maybe.
You know what I mean? That was your fucking, hey, dude, get the fuck out of that thing. You know what I mean? I'm just going to keep pushing it, man. I'm going to keep trying, bro.
You never know, right?
You never know,
Love
man.
of sport, though, man.
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying.
Get to the next one, T.
All right, so this one.
Time out.
What?
Okay, so for all of you guys that don't know, T's going to be going on some vacation here.
And we are going to be taking a week off.
Right. So we're going to take a week off when T's going to Peru. So I found this story a couple weeks ago, and I love it. And I wanted T to do it, but we sort of held it back to the last show before he takes his vacation and we take our week off. So T, go ahead and hit our Peru story, man.
Yeah, thanks for this uplifting story on Peru.
Just be careful over there, bro. What you eat, dog. Go ahead.
So, Peruvian funeral ends in a tragedy. At least 9 people have died and dozens more became ill after eating contaminated food at a funeral in a Peruvian Andes, authorities said. Health officials said that a total of 50 people were affected and 20 of those were hospitalized with stomach pains and vomiting after a wake the previous day in the Ayacucho region of southern central Peru. That's crazy.
Not just that, man, but earlier, Peru's Civil Defense Agency in D.C. tweeted that 10 had died.
Right.
But then the tweet was later removed.
Right. Because they weren't sure just exactly. So 9 people actually end up dying in total.
Did they ever say what they ate? It was a meat dish.
It was a meat dish. And then there's also a drink, and it's a fermented corn drink, which I've had.
Chicha?
It's called chicha, and it's delicious.
All right.
It's purple. So they use like this purple corn, and they boil it and do all this stuff and add sugar and stuff. It's a great, great drink. But that's what they had, and it's a fermented drink. But I think it's how you make it, and if it sits for a certain length of time.
Okay, so understanding this, because I'm a little bit of a food scientist here, fermentation means that it isn't cooked.
Right.
And that it's naturally fermented with either acid or some kind of acidic property of the materials that they're mixing with.
That's over there.
Right.
But if you make it here, okay.
Well, certain people I'm sure still make it.
Right. No, I'm married to a Peruvian, and the way that
just
they make it.
because she does. My point is some people still make it this way.
Exactly.
I was just explaining the difference, T, between fermentation and cooking it.
Of course. And I'm just clarifying how I know it.
Yeah,
here.
and what we're talking about is the fermented kind.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct.
So there wasn't really that opportunity for them to cook it and kill the bacteria over there.
Right.
So that's probably why these people got sick.
And it contained organophosphates, which is a family of chemicals used in pesticides.
Organophosphates.
Yeah, organophosphates.
Right,
Thank
exactly.
You.
So it's a pesticide. So basically what happens, they didn't wash it.
Correct.
They didn't wash it good enough.
And
so all this chemical got in there, and the fermentation probably boosted it up.
Right.
Oh, man.
That is crazy.
That is, dude. And imagine that, dude. You're going there to wish somebody goodbye because they passed away, and then fuck you.
And 9 more people
die. Not just that, but think about who made the food. Who's going to be feeling like shit? Well, and what happens to them criminally? Is it just an accident?
I think it's just an accident at that point, but let's think about it like this, too. Were any of the people that made the food, were they part of that 9?
No, maybe.
You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
The story doesn't say, but I think for me, that makes me a little bit hesitant to eat the food, but at the same time, again, being married to a Peruvian in the places that we're planning on going, I don't think it's going to be any problem. So you're not going to get off the hook that easy with me.
Nah, I'm just saying, man, just be careful what you're eating over there, dude, and don't be eating or drinking chicha.
Oh, right, I plan on drinking a lot of chicha.
Oh, all right, man.
And just so you know, I'm gonna be trying a Peruvian dish called cuy. And
is that like nuts or something? Bull's nuts?
You always have fucking nuts on the brain and in your mouth.
I'm just asking, dude.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
No, cuy is guinea pig.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
It's a delicacy over there.
Yeah.
So
that's something, man, that you're really excited about eating a gerbil.
I am. It's not a gerbil. It's a guinea pig.
Isn't it the same thing?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, man. Close enough.
I'm just saying, man.
All right, man.
All right. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. What do we got?
All right, man. So that was pretty good. See, we're going to go into our entertainment section now, man.
Yeah, this entertainment section is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a little different, though.
Yeah, no, it's hitting right now, man. Big movie out right now, right? The Avengers, huh?
Right. Endgame, man.
Yeah, so this is it for a lot of the Avengers, right? This is the whole deal. This is over, right?
Well, that's what they're saying. That's the whole thing. I mean, we don't want to give away any kind of spoilers here.
No, well, whatever, man. I mean, the movie's already been out a few weeks. People have seen it. It's made billions of dollars, bro.
It already has. It's blown
everybody
up.
knows what the fuck's going on with this
crazy.
movie. But you know what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it a little bit, and we're going to talk about what they do on the, this Avengers thing, and then we're going to have a little special treat for you guys after.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So I like what we have planned. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, let's keep it a little surprise to the end, man. So let's talk about the Avengers. Do you into Avengers?
I'm more of a DC kind of guy, but you can't deny the fact that, this is, really, really kind of hitting Marvel with the fact that it's, Disney and everything like that. It's really huge. And Disney done very well with the Marvel franchise. So I like some of the Marvel stuff. I really wasn't a big fan of the Black Panther movie that much. I've seen some of the Marvel movies, but I'm more of a DC guy. But there's tons of people that love the Avengers.
I know. Let's just talk about the Avengers, T. So, this cast was pretty much, it was a solid cast, man. Everybody was in this movie.
Everybody in the Marvel universe.
You had Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor. You had them all.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The best one out of them all, dude, was my lady, Scarlett Jo, the Black Widow.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, so I tell you a story later about that.
No, I know, but it just no matter what she's in, you're gonna pick her as the best character, no matter what.
Well, she's just so talented. Everywhere.
Okay.
All right, man. So this movie was good, man. I mean, look at the cast.
Right.
I mean, I'm just looking at the cast. I haven't seen the movie personally, but the money that's being spent on the movie and what's going on is really telling me, hey, man, this thing's worth seeing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right? I mean, because when it's a flop, man.
No,
there's no way it's a flop with the money this shit's making.
No.
You know what I mean?
This thing's a juggernaut.
Yeah.
This thing is an absolute juggernaut.
And then I started looking at it and we started talking about it. The cast is probably what's driving that too, man. It's got to be decent, right?
Oh,
Robert Downey Jr. is solid. You know what I mean? Scarlett Jo, Jeremy Renner, Don Cheadle, Paul Rudd.
Right.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
Chris Hemsworth.
Whether you were a fan of the Black Panther movie or not, man, the guy's a good actor.
Oh, he's a great actor.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
There's just so much in this cast. This thing has to be good, right?
There's no way that it's going to fail.
Right.
There's no way that this thing is going to just come out and just shit the bed.
No, you're right. There's a couple, guys that I'm not really into or whatever else. I really don't know why they threw Ant-Man in there myself.
Paul Rudd?
Yeah, but hey, I thought that was sort of like a novelty thing, but...
No, it actually did very well, though.
No,
it was a big box office hit.
You can't put Ant-Man in the same category as fucking Iron Man.
Yeah, but he's a Marvel superhero. So at some point, you're going to throw him in there. Why not? You got him in the burner. Why not?
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Fuck it.
The thing that sort of fucked me up too, T, is, they switched Hulk again. How many fucking different Hulks have there been, dude? It's been like Eric Bana, it was Edward Norton, and now there's this other guy, Mark Ruffalo, right?
Yeah, he's done it for a while now, though, but...
well, he's done the latest ones, right?
He's done the latest ones,
right.
Yeah. Ed Norton was right before him.
Right. I mean, come on, man. They got
Ed Norton was good, but this guy's really good, actually. He's done very well.
Was decent, too.
No, but he's done very well. Mark Ruffalo's done very well with that character.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And I think, there's a movie like this, like I said, maybe this is one of those movies that I'm actually going to go see. I'm a little curious to see it.
Yeah, because you're the canary.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to fall asleep, but there's a good chance I'll stay awake if they show some Scarlett Johansson quick. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Get the blood flowing. But hey, you know what? Hey, what we're going to do now, T, is we got a little surprise, man.
What's that?
Okay, first of all, man, we want to put it out there. We say thanks to all of our listeners. We always want to take care of them. We want to do special things to special people.
Right.
This guy was actually our very first download ever, man. And this is a really important guy to us, man. And I keep in touch with him a little bit.
Yeah.
We talk a little bit, and he was always talking to me about the show.
Yeah.
He's actually trying to be a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, man, is he's called in already, and we got him on hold. He's seen the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and ask him for a review, man. What do you think about that?
I love that idea.
You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and put him on right now. This is Tavi. We're going to go ahead and put him on. Hey, Tavi, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, man.
Hey,
so
welcome.
Welcome to the Double I
show.
Show, bro. Hey, good. I'm glad you're out here, man. I'm glad you like us, and I'm glad you really listen to us, man. I appreciate all the things you do for us first and foremost.
Yeah,
man.
I can't say it enough.
We really appreciate all the pub you do for us, bro. Just keep it up. And, we just want to give a little thanks to you by putting you on the air, man. How about that?
Thank you, man. I mean, thank you for having me.
No worries, man. I don't want you to be nervous or nothing, man. I know it's a little tough sometimes, but hey, listen, man, we're talking about the Avengers movie, bro. And I know you saw it already, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to just give us your take on it. And look, man, don't worry about spoilers. Don't worry about nothing else, because shit, everybody knows what happened already. Fuck, I know, and I haven't even seen the movie. So why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit, just give us a little backdrop of the movie, what you thought of it and everything else, and then we'll ask you a couple questions about it. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, go ahead and tell me, man. So tell me about the movie just in general, man. How was it?
I mean, it was really good, man. It starts off right where Infinity War ended. And if you haven't seen Infinity War is on Netflix right now. So it's the perfect time to watch it before you go watch Endgame.
Yeah.
Right. So it's definitely something you want to watch that before you watch Endgame.
Yeah. there was a movie that came out in between, which was Captain Marvel. You don't really need to watch that one, but you definitely do want to watch Infinity War before you watch Endgame.
So are all these movies sort of connected, man?
They're all connected. Like, so the Avengers is like the main movies, and then like all these other guys are like their intro movies. That it kind of shows you how they got their powers. Like, so if it's like someone you kind of don't really care about, you don't really need to watch the movie. Like, as long as you're watching the Avengers movies, you should be like pretty caught up on the story and know what's going on for Endgame.
Right. So it's all part of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it's all part of one universe, and it's like as long as you've seen the Avengers movies, like you should be fine.
Got it. No, I
Right,
get it,
right.
man. So to you, who's your favorite character in this movie, man? I mean, there's so many of them we're talking about.
Man, like, for me, it'd probably be Iron Man. He's pretty good.
Right. No, I mean, that's one of the only movies out of all these movies other than like Black Panther I really, really enjoyed. I like Iron Man, dude. That was a good story.
Captain America wasn't bad though.
Nah, I didn't get it.
It's a pretty good story,
man. It's okay, man. So that, if Iron Man was your favorite, okay, whatever else. I just got one question, bro. Did they show any skin from Scarlett Johansson?
No, unfortunately, there's no.
See, the guy's he's only one.
Is this a PG movie?
I'm not sure. It might be.
He only thinks of one thing, though.
Oh yeah, with Scarlett Johansson.
Tavi, I mean, this is what I'm dealing with. I mean, you've been the number one listener from the beginning. You know, this is the kind of shit I got to deal with, man.
All right, so
I
okay.
can already imagine the outtakes.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, bro, we're ready. We're gonna post some of those on our on our Patreon. But yeah, you're right, man. But okay, man. So I'll get off Scarlett Jo here. But I mean, the rest of the cast is huge, man. Like Jeremy Renner, right? The Hawkeye, Don Cheadle, Paul Rudd. I mean, all these guys have big roles in this movie. I take it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone got their screen time. It wasn't just focused on one hero the whole time. Everyone got their little time to shine.
That's kind of hard to do with a cast this big.
Yeah. And that's sort of what I was going to ask you too, Tavi, man. Is this sort of like, hey, man, you know what? It was sort of like a round one guy, but I guess it wasn't, huh?
Yeah, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
So basically the story was just split up to all of them kind of thing, but it all sort of blended together.
Yeah, like,
do you think the story was good?
Yeah, I liked it, man. Like I was saying, like it kind of branches out in the middle of the movie and like everyone kind of separates and it turns into like three little separate like little adventures inside the main story.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like I mean, just not to give away too much, but it has to deal with like time travel, dude. So it's pretty crazy because they're trying not to run into each other like in the past, like kind of some Back to the Future shit. Like
wasn't this movie right? Wasn't this movie like really long too, bro?
Yeah, man. Honestly, like I like made it a thing to use the restroom before I went into the movie, and I had no water or anything in there.
It was like a 3-hour movie or something,
Yeah,
right?
it was like 3 hours.
That's a marathon right there.
Were you interested in the movie for 3 hours? Was it that good?
I was towards the middle, like it kind of slows down a bit, but once like that final battle starts, like you're just glued to the screen, like you're not gonna blink.
Right.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, that's still tough, man. A 3-hour movie is fucking tough to pull off, right?
Hey, Tommy, question: Were you one of those guys that were at least thinking about maybe going to the El Capitan and for the 3-day they showed every single Marvel Universe movie as a complete marathon leading up to this movie? Were you considering doing something like that?
I mean, I honestly was, but then I was like, there's no way I'm going to get it off of work. It's like 10 hours plus. Like, I don't know if I could be sitting in a chair for that long.
Dude, that's crazy. And there was tons of people. That thing was sold out.
That's nuts, man. This is such a huge money deal, right? I mean, everybody in this movie has to be making a ton, right?
You would think.
Honestly, it's like the Star Wars of just generation. Like, it's so huge.
It kind of is.
You hit a good.
Yeah,
that's a
you
good
did.
point to make right
that's
there.
That's a great analogy
yeah,
right there.
Absolutely is, man. You're right. This thing's going to be a money maker and just going to keep making money. Wow, man. All right, man. So here's the $1 million question, bro. Okay, seems like you like the movie. So we're going to ask you for your rating, dude. 0 is you would never tell anybody about it. 10 is you're going to tell everybody about it. So in your honest opinion, what do you give this from a 0 to 10 rating?
I give it like a 9, bro. Like a solid 9. I probably spoiled it to a couple people at work, and probably gonna hate me forever. But
Well, you didn't say who dies or anything, bro. All that shit's out on the social media, man. Those guys fucked it up for everybody.
It's already out in the interwebs.
Yeah, you did good, man. I thought you restrained yourself pretty good, man.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
Because I wanted to do the spoiling, man, but T told me I couldn't.
No, I told him don't do that shit.
Yeah, but I
you
told
want to wait at least like a month.
Why, man? Like
After
it
that,
made
you probably
$1.2 billion, guys.
No, okay.
So that
you
means like
still
over
haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
But I know who dies.
Right, because somebody spoiled it for you.
Hey, but I mean, come on. But I don't even listen to this shit, man. And I know.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows.
There's people out there that are crazy that get pissed off if you spoil it.
Yep.
Even though it's weeks.
Do you think they live in Ohio or in Florida?
Probably Florida.
See, motherfucker.
Maybe Ohio
Quit picking
afterwards.
on him, dude. That's an inside joke, Davi. Sorry about that, man.
No, don't. Tavi's a listener. He knows. I talk a lot of shit about Florida.
Dude.
Honestly, though, man, if you think about it, like people could not find tickets to the movie this weekend.
Yeah,
So,
even
like,
now, they're still sold out.
Yeah, they're still sold out. Like if like, you gotta watch it during the week, or you have to buy your tickets like days in advance. But
That's nuts, man. I mean, I wonder how long this thing's going to go like this. Because they're not going to pull it if it's still making
at least
money.
3 to 4 weeks, at least.
Well, it's already third week. This is the third week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the third weekend.
So it could go for another, couple weeks like that.
Fuck, man.
It's nuts.
as long as people keep buying tickets, they're
going to keep
leave
showing
in
it,
the
man. So when you went to the movies, Tavi, was it playing in multiple theaters or was it just in one?
Yeah, so they actually I want to go watch it Saturday morning at 7:15 in the morning because they had opened the showtime because everything else was sold out, and I was like, I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah, I know somebody who went at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's crazy.
Because that's the only tickets they can get.
Well, yeah, they probably just said, fuck it, we're going to make money hand over fist anyway.
Yeah, it's worth
Just
to open
it up, yeah.
And a lot of theaters were open 24 hours.
Wow, man. Well, it's their time to make the money, man.
Right.
I mean,
It's
I
a
guess
cash cow, do it.
Yeah, I guess there isn't that many of these movies that come around in a lifetime, right?
And all they make the money off of is the concessions anyway.
What do you mean?
Yep.
The movie theaters,
Yeah.
they don't make money off of the ticket. That goes straight to the
They got to get a piece for the overhead, right?
They don't. They get their chunk from the concessions. That's why they try to feed you so much, and that's why the concessions are so high.
Nah, they got to get a piece.
No, Hot Tavi.
Don't ask him to help you, man.
No, it's true. He even said, yeah.
Do you know that too, Tavi? Is that true? Because I don't trust him. It sounds maybe
plausible.
right. Yeah,
Why
he
would
sounds
it be?
convincing, but dude, sometimes he just talks out of his ass, bro.
As opposed to you
like he
all
does that.
out of your ass.
Anyway, hey, listen, man, this was great, Tavi. We appreciate everything, man. We're going to have to cut you off. We're going to have to let you go, man. But hey, we just want to say thanks again, man. You're a great listener. You're a great part of this podcast, dude. And we want you to know that you're a part of what we do.
You're the Double Live
All right.
family now.
Absolutely, bro. So, hey, just hold on the line, man. We're going to go ahead and cut this segment, and we'll come back and talk to you, bro. But thanks for your review. Everybody that was Tavi, he's our number one listener, man.
Yep.
So,
Big
sign
shout
out,
out to
Tavi. Go
Tavi.
ahead and sign out, bro. You can. We'll let you. Go ahead.
All right, peace out, guys.
All right, man. Just hold on
Later.
tight, bro. We'll get back to you. All right, man. So that's going to close up our entertainment section for today, T. Pretty
Yeah, that was
good,
a lot
huh?
of fun. I like that.
Yeah, so
I like that idea too. Having other people outside opinions other than, you and I think that's great.
yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
think our
man.
listeners really enjoy that too.
No, right. There's been a couple guys. I think we got some other stuff in the works too for that, right?
Oh, don't even get me started, man.
Right, yeah.
Just look at the board.
No,
We're
I-
working on some big stuff coming up.
No, yeah, our board's filled up, man. But we got to get this thing. We got to get some really good stuff out here for you guys because we want you guys to keep listening.
Yeah.
All right, T. So what do we got next, man?
That's the close.
Oh shit, man. That's it, man.
That's
Pretty good
it.
show. Hey, Dr. X, good show today, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, big shout out, X.
No, absolutely, man. Hey, thanks again to Tavi, man. That was really good. Tavi's he's a big part of our show, man. He's
He
part
is.
of the family. He's our first listener ever. So you know what, man, he's got a special place.
And
definitely
loyal
for
as
me.
hell. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, he's great, man.
After every show, he's giving some good feedback. He's pubbing us. I mean, it's just,
It's good, man.
those are the kind of guys you want.
We're going to do that, man. Like we said in the very first show, man, we're going to put it out there for you guys. You guys are out there taking care of us. We're going to give you guys are part of the show.
Yeah.
We're going to put you out there the best we can, man.
Yeah, you're on the incoherent idiocy family now.
Absolutely, man. So we got a couple little things before we close, T. So why don't you go ahead and talk about it? Well, let me talk about it first. First thing I'm going to say is, guys, next week we don't got a show.
Right.
We're going to be on vacation. T's going to be out of the country, so I'm going to be on vacation. So that means we're not going to do a show next week, but we'll have one the following week. And T's promising me he's going to come back refreshed.
Stronger than ever.
Strong like bull. And then we're going to have a really good show, man. We're going to be refreshed. We're going to be out there. We've been running this thing for 10 weeks now.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little break. We figure we're going to do 10-week spots and then take a week off.
Yeah.
Give you guys a little break from us. I think you guys maybe need that sometimes too. So
And it gives us time to recharge our batteries a little bit too.
No, absolutely, because we want to keep it fresh for you guys.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen. So after this show drops, you guys, we won't be hearing from us for a couple weeks.
Right.
But then it'll be back to normal for another 10 weeks, guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can handle a week off without us.
I'm probably going to be pretty fucking happy.
Figure you're going to be pretty hammered too, right?
Oh, I'm going to be drunk every day, dude.
Right.
Yeah, I don't got to worry about the show, dude.
Right. You don't have to
the
worry
homework
about
for the show, the show notes, all that shit.
everything.
Yeah, I'm going to drink like a madman.
Nice.
But anyways, man, so go ahead and tell me about the other news, T.
Yeah, some exciting news. So this is going to be an exclusive just for our Patreon patrons. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on dropping some fresh merch coming up. We're working on some T-shirts. We're working on some hats. We're working on some drawstring backpacks. So it's going to be kind of sweet. But by the time you hear this, it is going to be for our very first 10 patrons that are new patrons signing up on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/the Double I Show. And those first 10, no matter what tier level they choose, they could even choose the $1 a month for a full year, which is $12 for the whole year. They're still going to get some merch from us.
Right. So just to go ahead and clarify, because maybe they got confused, T, because you spoke English. But basically what it was is he's saying when the show drops next Tuesday, the first or the next 10 patrons that sign up on our Patreon site, no matter what level you sign up, you're going to go ahead and you're going to send us, we get your info off of Patreon.
Right.
We're going to send you guys some merch, whether it be a T-shirt, a hat, or a backpack.
Exactly.
So we're going to send those out for next, not this episode. Oh,
No,
it is
this episode.
It is this episode.
That's what I said.
So when this episode drops.
When this episode drops, the first 10.
Oh, fuck. We got to start paying for that shit now.
I'm fucking telling you.
Oh, man.
It's already in the works, man. We got it covered.
Well, yeah, but all right. I know. Okay, man. Yeah, no, that's great, man.
Hey, thanks for joining.
Yeah, no. I was just thinking about something, T, man. Just keep this thing rolling.
Yeah,
dude.
you just got to the show or what? Did your brain just catch up?
Maybe.
As the show is ending, your brain just caught up.
But that's for getting my back, T. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
man.
no worries. You got it.
Hey, thanks to everybody for sticking around, man.
Wait.
I see what I got. What?
Big shout out to the guys making the merch.
Oh, absolutely.
We can't forget
bro.
these guys.
You know what, man? And that's another thing, man. We're networking here with other groups and other people, and this is partnerships.
Yeah.
And we got guys out there that we're going to help too, and they're going to help us. So, we grew a partnership with these guys. So why don't you go and give them a shout out, T?
Yeah, big shout out to Ray. He's the one that's working on the merch. I've seen his work. I know what he's done in the past. This guy makes some of the most incredible merch you can think of.
Hey, don't forget George too, bro.
Exactly. And I was getting to that. So Ray is really strong at being able to print this stuff, and his knowledge is crazy, so a big shout out to him. He's working with us, and it, just like you said, King, it's networking, but it's also bringing them part of the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's
right
what
on.
it is. That's exactly what it is. And then a longtime member of our family is George. George is the one who designs all of our artwork. He designs a lot of stuff for us, and that's a big shout out to him because he's designing all of the merch stuff for us. And then Ray's going to be doing all the printing. So big shout out to those two guys. We're happy to have them. We're lucky to have them. And you know what, King? I can't say enough. And I'm really excited about this new merch dropping.
No, absolutely. So am I, man. I can't wait to get it. So, again, that's going to close us up, guys. And, again, thanks for sticking around. Okay, enjoy your week off. Remember, visit our website, thedoubleshow.com.
Don't forget our Patreon at patreon.com/the Double I Show.
And remember, when you hear this, just go ahead and sign up on Patreon as a patron and try to get some of that free merch, man.
That's all you have to do.
You know what I mean? Fuck, $1 a month for 12 months?
That's pretty easy.
Fuck out of here, man.
Right?
As I'm just saying. So, everybody, we appreciate you for listening. We appreciate you for following. We appreciate everything. Dr. X, good job.
Great job, Dr. X.
Sweet T, good job today, man. Hey,
You too.
just want to say thanks again for everybody sticking around. For Incoherent Idiocy, I am RW King.
And I'm Sweet T.
We are
Out.
Avenue! Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you.